Hey, it's Thursday. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Kyle?
Dude, it's 9 p.m. on a Thursday. You know where we're at. Check out this shirt I'm wearing.
Testosterone. Yes, have some.
Yes, have some testosterone. That's what I'm talking about. Everything in this world is driven by testosterone. Right? Our whole industry is driven by testosterone.
That's a 013 deployment
This
shirt.
is a 9-year-old shirt right here that I dug out because I needed to throw a shirt on for this show. You guys didn't want to see my nipples all hanging out, so I put on a shirt. And we had these made back then because everybody was a gym rat, psychopath. It seems to be freezing after the mic cam access. So I am going to send her an invite to her Facebook. And Mike, why don't you tell them who we got coming on the show tonight? Yeah, yuck it up, boys, to it.
Oh, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, this is who we got. We have the bare knuckle sweetheart, Charissa Sigala. How was that? Is that good?
That was pretty good.
Yuck it up. Good yuck it up voice.
Good yuck it up voice.
As Howard Stern would say, the yuck it up voice. No, yeah. Charissa Sigala is coming on. She'll be fighting at a BKFC 27 in London. Yes, that is correct. You heard me correctly. BKFC is breaking into another market overseas, taking over the world by storm. She will be fighting Paige Vanzant in her third bout, but she's 0-2. She's trying to redeem herself. Not sure if it's going to happen against Sigala, but we will see. Sigala's about it. That's for sure. We all know that. And then after that, we have on brutal Johnny Bedford. And we have not heard from him for a while.
Nobody's heard.
A lot of people have been talking about him. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and we are going to get those answers tonight.
TJ Chang in the comments section. I only tuned in for your nipples hanging out. You know, I'm sorry to disappoint. What's going on, everybody? I just sent Charissa the new invite, so she should be on momentarily. What's up? Jacob, Susan, Joe, Megan, DJ, Tony in the motherfucking house, TJ Chang, Big Ben, as always, Howie Atherton. What is up, everybody? Oh, my Stephanie is in the comments.
My Stephanie is here?
She said not good. She said not good. What's not good?
Hello, Stephanie.
My nipples hanging out. All right. Well, you know what,
my yuck it up voice.
The yuck it up. Yay. Hey. Welcome to the show tonight. We got Charissa Sigala coming up. How was that yuck it up, boys? That was good.
You sounded like somebody. I'm gonna think of it and I'll tell you.
Casey Kasem, maybe?
No, not Casey Kasem.
Welcome to the top 40.
The king of the countdown.
Countdown.
Imagine that's your whole life. You're just the countdown guy.
Christ.
You're like the best for just counting down.
Well, in my best yuck it up voice, I'm gonna try even harder right now because I'm gonna introduce our first guest of the evening. She's coming to us live from her home in the West Coast, everybody. And she will be taking on Paige Vanzant August 20th at Wembley Arena when BKFC enters London, England. She is the co-main event. She is back on the show. She is the bare knuckle sweetheart, and she is Charissa.
Hey, guys. How are you? I'm having a hard time hearing, though. I tried putting in my earphones. So
you can't hear us right now?
I can hear you guys, but you're very low.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn it.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
See? I was like, I can't hear a word you're saying. It's doing it on purpose. I could try exiting out, and then my computer's got no Wi-Fi right now. So using the phone.
Do you want to try backing out and coming back in?
Yeah, I'll try backing out and coming back in.
All right, we'll work on our yuck it up voice while you're gone. Dude, she's awesome. And you know what, man? While I was at work today, I was working, everybody. So anybody that's watching and wants to bitch at me, I can multitask with the best of them. I always have my tablet to the side. I'm doing work on my computer, and I got fights on at all times. And I went through and I rewatched all her fights today. And I'm going to tell you right now, she's one of the most entertaining people on the entire roster, man or woman. This girl fucking goes to fight her heart out every single time she steps in there, and she fights all 5 rounds every time she steps in there. She's a freaking beast.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, and this will be her 5th fight in 15 months, which would make her one of the most active fighters on the roster, I believe. You know, There is a few. There's the Britton Harts and the Lorenzo Hunts of the world that are fighting like every 3 or 4 months. But she's right there with them. You know?
I do know, and I was wondering when she's going to make the transition to another weight division.
You know what it is,
and ask her that.
Right, we will ask her that, because when you watch the fights and she weighs in, she's always low 120s. She's like 122 and a half, 123. She's never 125. She's always on the low end of the flyweight division, and
which I find to be impressive in its own right, because she's fighting in a division that she doesn't exactly belong in.
Right.
And she holds her own every time.
Can I address something real quick? I feel like I'm being attacked. All right. I feel like I'm already being attacked by
one bring the comments
by a 6'7" son of a gun by the name of Big Ben. I know she's working out at fucking Jackson Wick, and we're gonna ask her about it in a minute, for crying out loud.
This is an interview. This
is an interview show. We're gonna talk to her when she comes on the screen, and we're gonna ask her questions about gyms and working out and fighting and things. Ay ay ay. Sorry.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
She just popped in and she popped back out.
She's popped out. Hey, we have a couple Student Out of the Week nominees, and I just went ahead and I nominated Big Ben as a Student Out of the Week
awesome.
Candidate.
I've never been Student Out. That sucks. I've never been one.
Yeah, no, we got called Student Out's first thing of this episode right here. As soon as we popped on, right there, DJ Tony says, "Yo, Student Outs." There it is. Boom. 1 minute into the show, he put that there.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah. I'm honored.
What's up? So honored. What's up, Eric? Mike Kanowski in the house. I'm always. It's the shirt, dude. The shirt's got me triggered.
Kyle, when we were deployed, Kyle was doing weightlifting competitions, deadlifting competitions, like a maniac. Blowing his back out and shit.
Yeah, when we had these shirts made, everybody would wear the testosterone shirts. So they would say, "Mish, what the fuck, man? Testosterone?" And I would say, "Yes, have some." So we got shirts made, and everybody would wear them to the competitions. I would lift heavy weights. I'd win medals. Never a gold medal. I always got second or third, because I was always on the low end of the light heavyweight division, because I'm a bitch. I would always, I never cracked 550. Like, what a fucking loser. Anyways. Hey, let's try this again. Joining us from the West Coast. Actually, I think she's out in Albuquerque or something like that. We're going to ask her in a second if it's okay with Big Ben. Here she is, Charissa Sigala. What's going on?
I can hear you now. We're good.
Hey. Nice.
I'm on. Technical difficulties. What can I say?
Didn't you have headphones on a second ago?
I did a second ago, but it still didn't work. So I unplugged it, and then I messed with my phone-ish, and I got it. That's all that matters. It's working.
You're not centered on your camera right now.
I know I am.
Neither am I. Let me fix myself. I'll fix myself. You fix yourself.
You guys know better than
Is that better?
Jesus Christ. It's goddamn amateur hour over here.
Do you have OCD? I have to be right in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, welcome back to the show.
What can I say?
Yeah, well, it's okay to be a perfectionist at times, especially in the craft that you're in, you know what I mean? And we'll talk about that in a second. Big Ben made it very clear that I need to talk to you about this. You are back. You're back for the fifth time in 15 months. You are wicked active for this company. They must love you. Fighting Paige Vanzant in London, England, co-main event on one of the biggest cards they have ever had. Charissa, you got to tell us, man, how were you feeling when you got that phone call when they were like, "Hey, we want you to co-main over in London, England against Paige Vanzant"? What was going through your head then?
Well, I found out with the rest of the world that we're co-main, so I just knew I was fighting her, and I didn't care where I am on the card. I never do. So when it was co-main, I was even more excited because, for me, it's even more important. Obviously, we want to show bare knuckle, but for the females, I feel like it's huge because there's not many female fights over there. So it's nice to see the woman being represented. And I think it makes perfect sense why we're co-main. I mean, I bring it every time. So
you sure do. We just talked about that before you came on. So I sound like a slacker when I say this. When I was at work today, I watched all your fights. I happened to be working while I was watching all your fights, but I got
I used to do the same thing when I was working, but
right. So I rewatched them all. Like we were at like 2 or 3 of your fights live, I think. But man, you're one of the most exciting fighters on the roster, man or woman. You come out there to just absolutely pour it out in the ring, and people love that about you. And I can't imagine this one being any different when you go out there, because Paige has been in 2 fights herself, and she went the distance in both of those. So you guys are both game, you're both bangers, and you're ready to put on a show for a new country. It's pretty awesome.
100%. And then you can definitely tell the difference of who loves it and who doesn't just by that picture that you guys posted up. The blood coming down my face with me smiling and her just like,
Dude, beautiful brutality. I feel like I came up with a pretty good hashtag there. We should tag that on everything.
Gonna be added onto every single thing I put now on IG.
Right. It should. Make us famous. Make yourself and try to make Mike and MIsh famous.
I'll make sure you guys are. All props to you guys.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, before we continue, you are being proposed to by a guy named Eric Williams. Our friend Eric says, "Hey, fellas, let her know that the engagement ring is waiting on her when she gets back."
Not looking to be married.
Sorry.
Damn.
Eric.
I like having fun. What can I say?
Hopefully that shit was on layaway. You get your money back.
I don't mind a ring, but
yeah, bring it back to the pawn shop.
No commitment.
Bring that shit back to Caldor.
Yeah, Caldor. So, hey, so since your last fight, or maybe I could be wrong, did you switch to Jackson Wink after your last fight, or were you already training there before you fought Danzig?
This is actually fight camp only. So I have an amazing sponsor. I've been at my boxing clubs, still go to my boxing clubs. I still plan on going there after. But one of my sponsors happened to say that he would fund this fight camp wherever I wanted to go to make sure that it was a big success for this next fight.
Wow.
So my agent had worked with Arlene before. So we sort of got in touch that way, and she's been at Jackson Wink a couple of times, and it's actually been awesome coming here because they've opened their doors to me, and they've been nothing but kind to me from day one. Wink is there coaching me while I'm training. I have Arlene, so it's crazy. It's been a really fun and really, really grueling fight camp, but I know everything's going to show at the end because there's a lot of things that we've been working on. And there's not much to do out here. I literally live in the gym right now. I'm away from my home. I'm away from my kids. I do plan on going back to Cali though, because out here is a little bit different, but I love it. Everything here is amazing. So
when you guys get back from the fights, like a week later, there's fights in Albuquerque.
I know, but when I get back, I go to school on that Monday. I start my semester. So I'm like, my professors, no, it's my last semester, and I'll have my bachelor's finally. But yeah.
How far do you live? Are you in SoCal? Are you are you really far? Like how far?
Hours.
7 hours?
10 hours. I drove out here too.
So are you staying with Arlene? Is that what you're doing? Or? I'm
going through it's both. So we're doing both, but yeah. Arlene is the big one for me right now.
Awesome. That's really crazy. So you left. How long you been down there? For a month?
It's been already about a little over almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Left my babies at home. Yeah. For my babies, yeah. They miss their mama. I laugh because my daughter says she misses my cooking, and not me. My cooking. I don't even cook that much, but yeah, it's okay. I love them all.
How old are your kids?
So I have a 21 that's about to be 21, 16-year-old, and then my youngest is 14, almost 15.
Oh shit!
But I'm missing their first days of school because they go back the week, my last week of fight camp, the week before we leave.
Do you FaceTime them like every other day to make sure that the house is not fucking tore down?
I've been telling them to send me pictures of their room, and they have yet to send them to me. So I already know I already know what I'm in for when I go back.
Every time you talk to them, they're in like a position where just that one part of the house is clean. It's just like the corner of the kitchen or something. They're like, oh, we're fine, whatever. Behind them, it's just nothing but pandemonium.
Just the computer. Just the computer. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
So let's talk about you fighting Paige Vanzant, and I believe what is her final fight on her contract. You are sending her off to Bellator or wherever she's going to go from here, unless she resigns. Oh yeah, she's doing AEW wrestling. What are you thinking about Paige? I know that you're obviously taking this fight extremely serious. You're down at Jackson Wink and you're having the hardest camp of your career. Like you just mentioned, she's doing AEW wrestling. She's very active online. She's got her husband who's a Bellator fighter. She's traveling with him all the time. She's doing photo shoots constantly. I'm sure she's training hard too, but what are you thinking? What do you think how serious is she taking this fight?
I mean, it's hard to tell because obviously everybody doesn't put things out there on Instagram. I would hope she takes it seriously because, I can only do so much in a fight to make it exciting. That other person has to bring it too. No matter what I'm going to bring in, I know what I'm going to do and what I'm planning on. So I'm hoping she's taking it seriously, but I don't know. Climbing a lamppost because you took too much pre-workout. I don't know if that's serious or that's just for Instagram. But I would think she would be. Every time she comes, she's brought it. She's been in the fight. It just hasn't gone her way, but I'm planning on keeping it that way.
Yeah, I don't think that she's bad. I just think that she's had a tougher fight with Britain than she thought it was going to be. I think they thought that she was going to just kind of walk through Britain, and Britain was not having it. And then, I mean, I'm going to admit, I did not think she was going to lose the fight to Rachel Ostovich, but Rachel came out swinging for the fences and really put it on her. And I was like, holy shit, I did not expect that to happen. And now when I see her workout videos, I feel like, I was talking about this yesterday at work, I feel like she's being a little bit too, as people say, extra with her workouts. Like I watch the workouts and I'm like, there's way too many things going on right now. Like whatever happened to just working out? Why is there like 17 workouts happening at one time? Can't you get hurt doing that shit?
2 months of booty game.
It's like those videos of the guys that have like a bar across their across their shoulders with like a kettlebell hanging out of their mouth, and they're fucking deadlifting at the same time. It's like
as they're doing their neck workouts.
And a resistance band around their knees, and somebody's pushing them from one side. And it's like, what are you doing?
I feel like one thing that I've noticed is I do feel like she underestimates every opponent she has. So I don't know if she's sort of doing the same with me, because she thought she was gonna walk through Britain, and then she's gotten her UFC girl that she fought and Rachel Ostovich. So I feel like she probably might look at me as like another Britain, like somebody that's just easy to walk through because, I've gotten the message that she's sort of in her fight camp, sort of saying that I'm easy, and that from a teammate of hers saying that they're glad to see when I win. So, it just tells me, I don't know, they might be playing mind games, it might not be real, but in my head, I'm like, if that's what she thinks, that's fine with me. That just means that she's in for a rough night.
Wow. When you say that, that's an interesting comment. Are you saying like a current teammate or a past teammate?
No, it's someone she's currently in the gym with.
That's very interesting.
Looks like you're sick of her shit, man. That's weird.
Ooh, okay.
So that makes me wonder how much of a diva she is in there. But I don't really care. To me, I'm straight. Like, I didn't even answer the person. I'm just in fight mode. So in me, I'm just like, I see it because I have the Meta business. So it like pops up the notifications.
Yep.
So I'll read what it says and I just laugh. And then I just go back to training.
Well, going back to what you were saying is like, or you or Mike both said that maybe she was taking Britain lightly and then she was taking Rich. I would think that after going 0 for 2, approaching this sport that way, this time, third time is a charm. She would, knock off the underestimation and realize that you are somebody that's gone 5 rounds 4 times now. And you're smiling at the end of every one of those things. So you're no one to be fucking taken lightly. I just can't even imagine taking you lightly. And I can't wait to see what happens out in London, man. This fucking fight.
I laughed at the comment that I saw on, I think it was Knuckle Up, who had posted it, saying that she was trying to make this an early 1-round knockout. And I was like, go ahead, try.
That is something that
I've fought people that are much stronger and better boxers than you. So
that's something that I wanted to ask you is you obviously are known for having a gas tank and being, you know, having resilience and like being able to take shots and keep on marching through them.
Yep.
But does the thought of, because Christine Faria constantly, you know, we all love Christine Faria, and Jenny Savage says the same thing. As Christine Faria wants to make history by having the first clean knockout in BKFC women's history. And then Jenny Savage came on the internet the other day and said, contract signed, God willing, I'll get the knockout before Christine does it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Do you think about that? Do you think about like,
yeah, I've said it. I would love to have the first. I mean, I know I have power in my hands. It's just about making sure everything goes on, you know, goes right. And you can't look for knockouts. They just happen. So it's about making sure that everything is on point, which is exactly what I've been training for. So if it happens, it happens. And I would love to be the first woman in London having that first knockout. That would be an awesome. It's at the co-main event, you know, and people, I've seen people that think that other people should be the co-main event, but I'm 100% happy to be where I'm at and think that us women will definitely bring it and show why we are the co-main event. So,
well, in a business sense, yes. Maybe in England, you know, Tyler Goodjohn and James Lilly and Connor Tierney and Mick Terrell are all more famous there, but your opponent is worldwide known.
Yeah, so, I have not seen more news articles about this fight than I have even when I fought Pearl, because I have the alerts on my phone. So every morning I wake up and there's at least 5 articles. So 100% understand why we're
right. It's a business move, and honestly, whether she's 0-2 or not, she's one of the biggest stars that they've ever signed there, and everybody knows who Paige Vanzant is. Even like 65-year-old parents of us watch fucking Dancing with the Stars, and they're like, "Oh, that's the nice, pretty blonde girl that was on Dancing with the Stars." You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Who I thought won, by the way. I'm just going to put this out there. She did not lose. They just felt bad because, listen, the other guy was deaf and he did really good, but they gave him the win. We all know that. So let's keep going. Yeah, she won. She won that season. I don't know if you did you see this?
No.
Charissa?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
She won. In my opinion, she killed it. The other guy did well, but he was deaf. And like, so he would dance and just feel the beat through the floor, basically, you know, like he was like, so he did really good. But she killed him, so I felt like okay, this is kind of like a pity kind of thing. I gave him the win.
Jesus
I'm sorry,
Mike.
But they did. They gave him the win. Everyone knows it.
Who was the guy? Like,
I don't know what his name was.
No, it's just
no idea.
That's how unmemorable. It was.
It's the truth. Everyone knows it. Go watch
some guy that starred in Sharknado who made it on.
Probably.
No, man, 100%. That's awesome. No, we're super excited to see you fight. Everybody, make sure you are tuned in. Mike and I might be doing a fight companion live during your event over there, because it starts at 3 in the afternoon or 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday. So, and we got a few people that are interested in coming on and watching the fights live with us, and us doing this while the fights are on, and should be fun. But August 20th. Paige Vanzant and Charissa Sigala, Wembley Arena, London, England, one of the biggest cards they've ever built. We're very excited to see you fight. We're going to speed round you and then let you get back to whatever it was you were doing. What do you think?
Eating and then taking my nap.
Taking your nap. All right, speed round with the bare knuckle sweetheart. Here she goes. Number 1, Charissa, what is something that you do a lot of when you're alone?
I actually read. I love reading and then schoolwork, but I actually love to read fiction novels.
You know, reading is a very common answer to this question right here. Like that was like one of the most common answers I heard today when I was asking this question.
I was actually surprised my kids read as much as they do, because kids
are proud of all you readers.
I can't read because of kids. That's the problem. I'm never alone, and they're just so damn loud. I could never concentrate.
You're supposed to read to them.
Yeah, well, that happens. Very boring stories, though.
Very boring.
Very boring.
You know what you should do, Mike? Instead of reading to them, make up stories.
I was about to say they don't make you make up stories.
What's her name? What's the J.K.
Rowling?
J.K. Rowling made up Harry Potter, telling her kids those stories at bedtime, and then ended up writing them, and now she's a billionaire. Number 2.
Awesome.
What is your go-to breakfast order when you go out to eat for breakfast?
I like pancakes, but it has to be like the bad ones. I like banana macadamia nut, like with whipped cream on top.
Macadamia
with yes, IHOP.
There
you go. Number 3. What was your first tattoo? You got a shit ton of them. Which one was
I have a whole bunch. It was the one that got covered up. It was a beautiful tribal tramp stamp on my back. It's covered. That's where the big tattoo came in.
There you go. The old tramp stamp.
Oh yeah.
Choices, you know.
And it was worse because it was tribal, and then it had my I'm an Aries, so it had the little Aries symbol. Yeah, it was
very 90s.
The cliche of the 90s.
Very 90s of you. Number 4.
Right. When was the last time you did something that you instantly regretted?
Oh man, I don't think I've done anything I've regretted yet.
No regrets. No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah. Oh well, actually,
that's a good tattoo to get.
Actually, the tattoo. That tattoo, probably.
That tattoo, there it is. And
that tattoo. I was like, man, should have had a couple more days on that. Slept on it.
90s stamp.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, last one. Here we go. What is the celebration going to look like when you win your fight in London? Any big plans to celebrate?
Well, I'd like to know first where we're staying. That's always the hardest part, is to figure out where you're staying and then what's around you. But plan on lots of drinks, because it's been a while since I've had celebration drinks, because in Kansas, everything closed super early, so we couldn't really do anything after we won. It literally was like 30 minutes later, so it was boring.
And there's a lot of wind. Beautiful. I hate that wind.
Oh, I know. I will go to a pub and I will be out there. I'm like, I don't know what they have going on. I don't know if there's going to be their football going on, but I'm sure there's going to be a pub somewhere that's going to be on and popping. So I'll go to somewhere, get some drinks, and
maybe you get your win. Maybe Tyler Goodjohn gets a win, and you could pull Tyler Badjohn back out of the closet. Because he said he is no longer Tyler Badjohn. He is only Good John. He's a good boy. And I feel like going out with him in London is probably a good thing.
Oh, 100%. I guarantee you one of them boys are gonna find a place that's good. They all know.
Right. Awesome. Well, Charissa, any last words? Anything you want to say? You want to make a prediction? You want to say anything to Paige? Say anything to your audience? This is your time.
Just better be ready, because I am ready for that war, just like everybody else is. And I just want to say thank you to Pete, Through Hemp, Whitetail Properties, Tribal Beast Fitness, and Buddy's Cable for sponsoring the fight so far. We still have room, so if anybody's interested, definitely hit me up on my DMs. But I'm looking forward to London. I can't wait.
There it is. And if you guys don't have the app, do you have a referral code on your Instagram?
Yeah, it's on there. It's like Charissa Sigala 246.
There you go. Everybody get on there, follow on also all our socials, and tune in on August 20th when she fights Paige Vanzant in the co-main event. Awesome talking to you. Can't wait to see your fight on August 20th.
Thank you. See you guys later.
I'll see you.
See you later.
That was weird. I heard you say see you later.
I did too. I was like, wow, that's really cool. I said bye to myself. Uncle Pete, she's not talking about you. All right. Calm down in the comments. She's thanking another Pete. Uncle Pete, you're getting popular, but you're not that popular. Not Charissa Sigala popular. All right.
Not yet.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Especially if she gets a win out in London against a girl like Paige Vanzant, her popularity is going to skyrocket.
And you're going Pete, further down the list, buddy.
Yeah. Uncle Pete, you don't have a chance. Hey guys, we got our second guest in the waiting room right now. We can't wait to bring him in. We're going to bring him in a second. He has been away for quite a while. Maybe how long? When did he fight Reggie in Biloxi? About a year ago. Man, unbelievable fight.
Ago, buddy.
Unbelievable fight. He regained his Bantamweight Championship. A lot of things has happened since then. And just this past weekend, an interim title changed hands, which is a very rare thing. Somebody defended an interim title and it changed hands. And now we got the reigning champ on the horn here. We're going to bring him in a second. Brutal Johnny Bedford. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Hey, thanks for having me.
Man, it's been a long time. Where the heck you been?
Oh, man, I've been in Texas, living life, to say. I had an unfortunate, kind of weird, really weird injury. But other than that, man, I've been, still on the grind. I own 2 schools down here, so I'm constantly traveling, coaching, obviously running 2 businesses. I stay pretty busy. I'm a dad. But back in the gym, the injury is in the past. And as I'm sure we're here to talk about, we'll talk about this freaking fiasco we're in now with this division. So
absolutely. Before we get into that, right quick, how many kids do you have, Johnny?
I have 3. So I have 2, and then I got remarried. So I have a stepdaughter she's mine. I have 3 kids. So
you are able now. I'm trying to fathom this because I have a full-time job and I run this, and me and Mike run this show, right? We both have full-time jobs for the Army and we also run the show, but we both have 2 kids and I have a hard time finding time to do absolutely anything. But you just said that you run 2 businesses, you train, you coach, and you got 3 kids. How the hell is that even possible?
It's
it's
sleep? Crazy, man. I think a lot of people see it and they're like, holy, like people that are close to me, they kind of understand and they see it. But in a way, it's kind of the freaking life I chose, dude. Like, there's not many Saturdays Fridays or Saturdays, I'm in my own bed. Usually I'm in
a hotel,
wherever,
somewhere.
Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Louisiana, we're everywhere, right? These regional MMA scene. I've got guys fighting on UFC Fight Pass pretty much every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I've got that. I've got 3 kids, and I've got 2 pretty successful schools that are gyms that are full steam ahead, man. We're growing. I'm, being the general of that as well. Obviously, I'm hiring and firing, and I'm doing payroll, and it's a lot. So yeah, I get it. So I appreciate the people who kind of understand what a busy life is like. But again, I don't ever bitch about it, man, because it's kind of the life I chose. You know what I mean? I chose to be this business owner. I kind of chose the way that allowed me to train full time. I couldn't just I couldn't go be a banker and fight. It just didn't work out, So, well, shit, I'll open a gym and I can train, and it all worked out. So,
hell yeah,
that's where we're at.
Well, obviously, your work ethic and your drive has led you to become a world champion multiple times. Now, let's get right into that, man. You've been out for a year. What exactly was the injury that, or do you talk about that? Was it something that you have put out to the world?
Yeah, I don't have any. I think it was almost a freak accident, man. It was weird because I was probably 6 or 7 weeks out from the fight in, I guess it was supposed to be March with Jared.
Yeah.
And I spar at a predominantly all boxing gym, pro boxers through and through. We mix it up a little bit with the clinch stuff, but I'm an MMA guy first. The clinch stuff is second nature. I'm a college wrestler. Regardless, we're sparring, and we spar there with 16-ounce gloves and headgear on, and it's no joke. We spar hard there. It's good bodies, blah, blah. I took a shot, and it wasn't like I stopped. I didn't do anything, but I got home, and I knew something really when I got hit. I knew something was weird. But when I got home, my wife said, "Are you all right?" Because my wife was working out at home at the time. And I said, "Yeah." What? I got punched in the sparring day. Well, she goes, "Well, your whole eye and like the inside, like almost my eyeball was like a deep, deep purple." And I didn't know. I don't bruise typically. If you watch me fight, I bleed like a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I cut and I bleed every damn fight, but I don't bruise. So that was odd to me.
Wow.
And whatever, I got punched in the face. So I had a black eye. And, I see it. It's not a big deal. So I keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm noticing, and I'm not saying anything at first, but I'm kind of tentative to get hit in it and whatever else. But really, ultimately, it was about probably a week or 2 after, probably a week. Not only my wife, but my business partner asked me, like, "Dude, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." They're like, "Why?" And I guess I'll get closer, but they kept seeing me, like I'd be sitting there talking, having a conversation, and they'd see me I didn't realize I was doing it, but I kept going like, and I was trying to like stretch my face out,
Yeah,
like get feeling in it, right? Because it felt like it was numb. Like I'd be talking and my lips are moving just fine, but it didn't feel like that. I don't know how to explain it. Regardless, I had to sit down, you know, like, what the fuck? What am I going to do? Like, this is weird. Like, it's numb. So I talked to the coach, and he's like, look, if this is going to be in your head, we need to put our ego aside. I know you want to fight this fucking kid. But if you're not going to, like, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get x-rayed, right? So we got that done. So I guess I got out of order a little bit, but we get it x-rayed. We actually send the results, x-ray and CAT scan, because they had to do a CAT scan because they were checking for nerve damage. And they send the results to Dr. Muzzy, who's the head doctor of BKFC, and obviously the ENT or whatever he was here, the doctor here that did it. Left medial wall fracture, but no, something crazy fracture, impact fracture, or something crazy weird. It sounded way worse than it was. But so here I am at this point, like, well, fuck, I got a fracture in my eye. Am I going to still fight? My coaches and everyone's like, look, you're not going to spar for 5 weeks. Are you really going to be ready? Do you want to go do this? The ultimate truth was, do you want to go do this walk, go take this test that you can't study for? Right. And it was at that point I had to be like, you know what? You're kind of right. Like, if I can't, again, use that silly analogy, if I can't study for this test, I probably shouldn't take this test, right? Because, well, that's what happens. I got Nate Shook on the phone. I got everyone on the phone. What the fuck do you want me to do? Blah, blah. They've got him scheduled for a main event. So I know their schedule. And I honestly thought they were going to bring Reggie in then. Like, because I gave him as much notice as I could. Like, look, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. Blah, blah. I honestly thought they're going to bring Reggie in then. And then out of nowhere, what's his name? At 6 foot.
Reddick.
Yeah, Reddick, 6'2" bantamweight comes out of fucking nowhere.
He's fucking huge, that guy.
I thought he, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he won.
Like,
it was close.
I
thought he might have won that fucking fight.
It was close for sure.
But regardless, what needed to happen happened. Grant got a win. He's now 5-0. Now he's dead. I mean, there's not much anyone can say, right? The sport's new. This kid's 5-0. Like, he deserves his shot. And here's where I guess I'm kind of trying to juggle how personal I want to get with all this. But I mean, I'm frustrated because of all the shit that just happened. Never fucking needed to happen. Never needed to fucking happen. Here's the truth is, I don't know.
Are you saying like you were ready to fight?
Fuck, dude. Yes, that's like, this is getting, yes. This shit never needed to happen. So Grant won and I heal up, whatever happens. And I'm literally like, I wish I meant to pull up dates before you and I talked because I'd be more educated right now. And I could just go back through text messages and see all this shit. But I talked with Dave and Nate, dude, like 6-7 weeks ago about, okay, what's next? They told me about some possibilities of getting into a certain state, blah, blah, which really incited me. Right. So I'm like, okay, so that's what we're going to wait for, blah, blah, blah. August, September, me and Grant, we're going to fucking settle this thing. Perfect. Yes. I hung up the phone. I told my wife, I called my father, like we got to fight, gentlemen. Like, let's go. We're back in camp. We just got to, we got to make sure the state gets approved. We got to make blah, 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 whatever. We got to, obviously, they got to get set an actual date. I need a contract, but I'm fighting fucking Jared Grant. And that was probably on a Thursday or Friday. And Monday I saw Jared Grant versus Reggie Barnett. Like, completely left field. What the fuck? And the truth is this, is I called them both, Shook and Feldman. And I said, no, first of all, when the hell do we start defending interim belts? The champ is here, said he wants to fight. You promised me August, September. So why are we defending an interim belt? And two, what the fuck are you going to do when he loses? Because I knew he was going to lose. I knew Reggie was going to run all over him. I told everybody all fucking week, like, what are you going to do when he loses? Because now we're in this predicament that we're in. And the rightful contender is freaking Reggie Barnett again. And dude, by the way, I'm super happy for that kid. He deserved it. Like, put that, with that bullshit that happened at the end, whatever.
Yeah.
I was screaming at my TV, you better put that fucking belt on that kid's waist. he deserves that moment.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he deserved that moment. He fought the best fight. He's up, like, he deserved that. Anyways, what do we do now? I'm sure Reggie wants to fight me again. Of course he does. But does anyone else want to see me and Reggie fight again? And that's not even talking shit. That's not even like, we should just have never been in this position. You told me August 7 weeks ago, I'd be getting ready for August. You tell me, like, it didn't, I was ready. I probably wouldn't have been ready in July, but my opinion, they need a fucking main event, and there they got one, and probably not a super expensive one. And we all saw how it turned out.
Right. When you found out that Reggie and Grant were fighting for the interim belt, you said you called them. What did they tell you? I mean, that seems like a simple question. Like, why the hell? What was the answer?
Well, I guess they kind of got brushed under, like, that's not going to happen. Of sorts. I don't want to say they said that, right? But they put it on this, don't worry, there'll be other options. We're making more signings. There's 145, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, like, I'm the champ now. Like, I need to defend this belt before, like, I would love to go be a double champ. You want to do a 4-man, 45-pound tournament? I'm in it tomorrow. Like, I'm there. But, like, I'm not giving up my belt. That doesn't mean Reggie's the champ now because my next fight's at 45. Like, that's not how this shit works. So, man, I kind of got drug along, and I just knew this shit was gonna happen.
When you heard Grant saying, hey, obviously he doesn't want to fight me, that's why he's prolonging coming back, but you knew you were ready to fight, how come you didn't come out and be like, listen, I'm ready right now, I don't know what the hell's going on, call them up, let's do this, you know?
I mean, I contemplated, and I guess we're getting real personal now, right? I'm struggling, man, and I'm not struggling. I mean, I'm struggling with what's the word I'm looking for? The respect I'm given, and it's not like I'm trying to beat on my chest and I'm the world champion.
Yeah,
but you don't want to cross the line. Company man who's been there since day one, who's done everything he said he's done, will fight whomever. You like sign a contract, I'll be there. You want me to go up a weight class? I'll be there. Like, whatever you need me to do. And I got so many text message and phone calls that go unanswered. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, man. And it's like, I'll just put it out there. I'm 39, bro. I don't have, what do I got? 3, 4 more, maybe? Like, let's go. Like, here I am healthy, being promised I'm going to fight in August, September. Now I have no clue what they're going to do. I mean, I know what they have to do, in my opinion, and I text them that today because there's only one fucking way to fix this now. And that, I mean, I'll let you lead into that if you want.
And you gotta, you're talking about having to fight Reggie for a third time after no,
I mean, I think the only option is you got to bring that win back.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that would be the only other one,
and let them two fight for their fake belts again as the co-main event, and we'll figure all this shit out because that's the only way you can do it at this point.
This is such a weird predicament.
Are you willing to wait till that fight happens and then fight one of those guys, or are you gonna just take up?
No, I want that win. I need to get that fight back. That win should come back. He walked away from this as a champion. I got my belt back. He quote unquote took it from me once. He doesn't need to wait in line. Those two guys can go fight in the co-main event and figure out whatever the hell they want and fight over their fake belt. Me and Dat Win are the two big dogs of the division. I've only got a couple left. He's on my hit list anyways. I got to get that fight back. I'm 6-1 in the sport. My only loss is a Dat Win. I have to get that fight back.
We've been actually hearing some rumblings of Dat coming back, so I think that could very, very well be the case. I just think it's really weird that they put themselves in a position where you could actually defend your title against somebody that's not the interim title holder, and then still have an interim title out there. The interim belt whole thing just, it mixes it up in a bad way, and unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, congratulations to Reggie. Like, it is a person that you have already beat twice. You really didn't have an interest to fight him for a third time, but now he has that interim strap on his shoulder, and like, you kind of have to at some point. But you'd rather fight that. Yeah, it's just it's a weird spot that they put them in a business sense. Yeah, and actually Reggie's mom's in the comment right there. It says Dat will never fight Reggie. So if that's the case, then a you and Dat fight, I guess,
makes sense.
It makes sense. It's such a weird thing. But
I can't fight. I just and so Mrs. Barnett, hello, ma'am. I love his whole family, if I'm being honest. But anyways, it's the biggest fight in the weight class. Me and Dat win. I'm 6-1. He's 4-1 with his loss to controversial against upper weight class, 2 weight classes. It's the biggest. It's the biggest weight. It's the biggest fight for the weight class. Jared Grant is exactly like he said he was, a fucking bum. Like, that kid got fed 4 wins, and as soon as he fought somebody with any skill, he got fucking waxed. He didn't win a round. Reggie Barnett pitched a shutout. His fucking coach has got a big mouth saying stay-at-home dad and whatever else. You better teach your boys how to fight because you just got taken to school, homeboy. Reggie Barnett put a fucking clinic on that kid. That kid that he talks shit about me is fucking laughable. Like, you got fucking shut out 4-0 and then taken home on a stretcher like a bitch. Let's not forget that. Like, I have zero respect for Jared Grant, and that motherfucker had my name in his mouth way too much. Like, that kid, put him back down in the minor leagues. Like, whatever.
Man, Johnny is, I got to tell you.
Dude, he got waxed. Like, it wasn't.
He really did. There is no argument there. Like you, in the words you just said, Reggie was absolutely pitching a shutout going into that 5th round. It was a weird, I wouldn't even say controversial, because when something like that happens, it was so far into the fight, they go to they go to the judges' cards, and it was a technical decision. But that was like, we were there, Johnny, and like when that happened, it was such a weird feeling in the arena because it like went dead silent. Everyone didn't know how injured that kid was. We didn't know if his eye popped out of his freaking head or what. Like,
nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything. We're all just like, what the hell is going on here? And then, like you said, they ran him out the building, out the back. They're doing stuff. And like a good 5, it felt like longer, but a good 5 minutes goes by. And then they finally bring Reggie to the middle of the ring and they announce what happened. What did you think about that ending? Like,
how do you call it? Freak accident. Very unfortunate, anticlimactic ending.
Right.
Anticlimactic. Because nothing was going to change. Reggie Barnett was going to whoop his ass that 5th round. Jared Grant quit after the 2nd round. When he went down 2-0 and he saw his own blood, he was done. He ain't never faced adversity in his life in this sport. And Reggie Barnett took his ass to school. Like, took his ass to school. He quit after the 2nd fucking round. He went back there broken, seeing his own blood. He was done. But again, don't take anything with Reggie. Did great. Reggie pitched a shutout. Reggie fought the game plan. But I knew, like I said, I struggled. Do I get on social media and I talk all this shit? And do I say, oh, Reggie's going to beat him, blah, blah, blah? I didn't know what to do. Like, I want to be a company man. I want to, I want paid. I want big fights. And I didn't know what to do. And let's say I'm generationally, social media is not my jam, bro. Like, I don't have 30,000 Instagram followers and whatever else. I should do a better job, but
it's not your thing, though.
And I
you don't want to cross that line.
Everything works out, and I was going to get this Grant fight, and then that went to shit. And I've been forecasting this shitstorm for 6 weeks now since they announced it. I knew what was going to happen, and sure enough.
Now, when you say you're talking about how well Reggie did and how great he looked in there, would you say that was the best Reggie Barnett that you had ever seen? And like in the past, you had beaten him twice, so you were 2-0 against him, and you didn't really have a reason to want to fight him a 3rd time. But after watching his performance that night, did it make you be like, you know what, maybe another run with Reggie is something that needs to happen?
I'm not excited about it for my next fight. That makes him 3 of my last 5.
Right.
I fought him 2 of my last 4 right now. Like, that's crazy. I don't need to fight him a third or fight that. And I won. And again, no disrespect to Reggie Barnett, but I won both of them pretty fucking handily.
You just want to see somebody different across from you, like
I don't think the fight goes much different. I think what I do want to say is I do want to recognize is that Reggie Barnett is fucking 7-2 in the sport.
Right.
Like, how good is he?
Very good.
And, exactly. And like, put some fucking respect on mine and not y'all. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, you're his too.
7-2 in the sport.
Yeah,
and he's got a belt on his waist right now. Yeah. Like, I need a big fight, man. I need a fucking big fight.
You need a big fight, man, and it's good to hear from you. It's good to see you back, healthy again. And I can't even imagine what's going through your head. You've been pretty open about it right now, but like, really, you should be in there. You should be defending your title. So we don't want to take up too much more of your time. Do you want to deliver like a direct message to anybody right now as the champ, like, you know, to the company, to an opponent, to whoever wants to listen?
Well, I mean, I'm excited. I hear bare knuckle signing some bigger name guys. He signed John Dodson. I'd like, you know, if he wins a couple fights, I don't know if you know, we've got some history. Yeah. He knocked me out in the Ultimate Fighter show.
Ultimate Fighter,
making weight 3 times sucks, but whatever. Anyways, they got bigger guys, so I'm looking for big fights. You
also got Jimmy Rivera out there too, right?
Isn't he fighting at 45 now?
He is fighting at 145, but I mean, like,
he can come down.
Yeah,
but again, what is he now? 0-1 or 0-1?
Oh yeah, he's 0.
It's just hard to get. You know what I mean? Like, you get these big name guys, but they got to get a couple wins.
Yeah, true.
For their own good, and again, call it what it is. Am I talking shit? But they better get some experience before they fight guys like me and Reggie and these guys who've done this game, because it's completely different. And experience matters. And yeah, if you want to give me some 1-0 kid, like, I'll take that fight. It don't make no fucking sense, but I take that fight. So yeah, I mean, you asked me to call it out. That win, you want a fucking paycheck or not? Bro, like, we're both getting older. Here it is. It's the only fight for you, or it's the only fight for me. You talk all this shit on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. You got all these followers. Let's just do it one more fucking time and we'll settle it. It's a big fight for bare knuckle. It's a big fight for you. It's a big fight for me. Let's go. Sign the contract, homeboy.
There it is, man. We got a fired up champion here that wants to get back in there. That's a direct message to that win. We don't want to take up any more of your time. We thank you so much for coming on here. Mike, you got anything else for the champ?
No, man. Thank you for coming on. I know everybody was wondering where you are, what you're doing, where you're going, who's next. We got all those answers.
Let's go. Hopefully. September, October. I mean, I would rather do September. September is great for me.
So was the state that you were talking about, the new state that they were talking about busting into, New Orleans? Was it Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana?
I've heard that's happening too, but no, I've heard. I hear shit every day, but it's not from who I need it to be, and I don't have official answers. It's funny though, because I'm in Louisiana a lot for MMA,
right?
So, and Louisiana's only depends on what part of Louisiana they go to. New Orleans is a bit of a freaking drive for me, but if they got like northwest Louisiana, like Shreveport area, I'd sell that place out.
Yeah. And of course, obviously Dallas, Texas, or, you know, somewhere in Texas.
Yes, come on, please. That's what I would really love for Texas to get their head out of their ass and bring us here. Like, why not? Like, it's silly that we're even having this battle anymore. It really is.
I think all in due time, man. I don't know if you saw that the ABC established what is it? A
unified rule set.
Unified rule set yesterday or the day before. So right there, man, that's a huge
that's huge. That's huge.
That's a huge step for the sport. And I really, truly do believe that a lot of the states are going to start opening up the doors and welcoming this sport. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning of the UFC, everyone thought it was a blood sport, fucking human cockfighting and all that bullshit. And then later on in the 90s, people started getting their heads out of their asses and more states were getting them in there. I really
the money
feel
started rolling in.
Yeah, money started rolling in. I feel like BKFC is sort of in that same time frame right there as far as UFC was at the time. So with this happening, this is a big step for the sport. Maybe we'll see some BKFC or maybe some bare knuckle fighting in the state of Texas very soon.
That would be that'd be a dream of mine, man. Like, for real. If I get to fight at home one time, it'd be, I'm always going to fight in Florida or Louisiana. Where else have I fought? Fought the first one, which is Montana. But other than that, I think it's been Florida and Louisiana Mississippi. Yeah.
Well,
a couple
man,
different cities there, but I went Tampa and I don't know what that.
Florida.
Yeah. We need to get you back in there. We need to get that win fight. And if not that win, maybe a third Reggie fight. Either way, we need the champ back. We need him active, defending his title. Thank you very much for coming on here and clearing the air with us, Johnny. We are going to spread the word for you, and we will talk to you down the road a little bit.
All right, brother. I appreciate your time, guys. Have a good night.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks,
guys.
All right.
Take care.
That's the champ. There he is. Yep. He was very wide open and honest with everything tonight, and that's fucking awesome because he's really been kind of quiet for a long time.
Yeah, I felt like what I got from him is he is not the type of guy that wants to go out and start talking shit to the company and saying, "Oh, they're treating me this, they're doing this and that." Like, he's just his whole career kind of been somewhat, a quiet guy, just moving along and just like a silent killer, like a hitman, and that's it. So I get it. He's not on social media much. He's not really out there doing all that. A lot of people are like that. They just don't. This isn't their thing. They just want to get in and fight. And he's champ. He said he wants to come back in September. Let's get him back in September.
Dude, and honestly, it really does put Johnny into like a weird predicament. And as Reggie was amazing the other night, and now he holds the interim title. If he looked amazing and didn't win an interim title, we wouldn't even be talking about a third fight right now, because it's very rare that you see a trilogy where one guy won the first two. You know what I mean? It's very rare to see that trilogy made,
and it just happened.
And it just happened. You're right. They're very much the Volkanovski Holloway of bare knuckle. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Volkanovski won the first two. They were very close, just like the Reggie Barnett and Johnny Bedford fights. It's just like what happened. If what he said, like the BKFC really put themselves in a position here where
odd predicament to be
in a odd predicament, man. They really did with this interim title stuff. So Mike Ranowski asked a very good question, but why the interim title?
They put it out there, and then they have to follow through.
Belts sell shows, right? And when they're trying to sell tickets and they're trying to get people to watch these shows, and the champ's out injured for a prolonged period of time, they didn't know how long. I'm sure they didn't know exactly how long he was going to be out with this eye injury. I don't know how serious it was. He seemed like it was pretty serious, so because he was out for almost a year.
Well, Grant signed to fight for the title. That was the whole thing.
He did in March.
Signed to fight for the title, and when he fell out, he was probably like, in the contract. This is just speculation, but hey, I'm supposed to be fighting for a title here. That's what I trained for. I'm fighting for a title. And so they're like, all right, we'll make it for an interim title because we don't know how long Johnny's going to be out. And he won, not thinking like, hey, in so many months, after this, you're going to defend the interim title and then end up losing it against the guy who the champion has already beaten twice and fought last. So like that's,
I'm trying to remember. Shit. Was there ever a time like in the UFC where they had an interim champion and then the champion came back from an injury and they just like nixed the interim belt? Or has it always been unified? Because I feel like there was a time during the UFC that they had an interim champion and then like, I don't know, Randy Couture came back from injury or whatever. And then like, they were just like, you're not interim champion anymore. The champ's back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that happens. It's just, one way or another, Reggie Barnett looked flawless against Jared Grant the other night. He looked amazing. He looked better than ever. And like Johnny said, he's 7-2 and his only 2 losses. Yes, right there. Kobe Covington.
Yeah.
The second the champ was back, the fucking title. So you know what I mean? And going back in the comments here, Jacob says maybe they should do a tournament and give Reggie a first round bye. And the tournament, and the tournament winner fights Johnny. That's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, but Johnny can't be left on the back burner forever.
Right. No, but in the meantime, no, if they were going to do that, it would be Johnny and Dat run it back for the title. Reggie gets a first round bye, and they do a tournament. If that's the way they were going to do it, but I just think that with Jared Grant out now with an injury on his own, the top dogs in that 135 division are really just them. You know what I mean? It's Johnny, Dat, Jared, and Reggie, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if Jared's out with an eye injury for however long he's going to be out, take him off the table. Reggie's the interim champ. Who knows if Dad's coming back? It's just a really weird situation. Thank you to Johnny for coming out and just being honest with us. I really would wonder what the conversation was like when he called after he found out on the internet that that title was. Yeah, man.
You know, to be a fly on the wall, they say.
Oh, yeah, to be a fly on the wall. So, man, that was an awesome interview, man. It was cool. It was good to see him come back. Hey, we haven't done a Stew Down of the Week for a while, and I feel like
we've been so busy.
I did not make a graphic, but I feel like we can nominate a couple Stew Nods of the Week, and we're going to let the people in the comment section go ahead and weigh in on this one.
Yep.
Mike, you go ahead and nominate the first one, and then I'll nominate the other one. Whoever you want to nominate, go ahead.
All right.
You choose.
All right. So as I said earlier when we were talking about this at break time, and I said, you know, who I would throw on that list first would be one Andrew Glencoma, as you called him. This guy better get his eyes checked, because I'm not certain about what he saw, because I don't look through his eyes and I don't see from his vision. But I'll tell you what, the guy must be seeing a lot of things that aren't happening, because there was no headbutt in the beginning of that fight, and there was no headbutt at the end of that fight. So unless there is some other explanation for what happened in that Turney Gates fight, nobody knows what the hell's going on at all. And that guy saw something that wasn't even there twice. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there's a better story. But I nominate him as a Stew Nod this week.
Referee Andrew Glencoma. Glenn, he's got cataract or something
going on in there.
Something's going on in there, because honest to God, dude, if anybody watched that, fucking Derek Gates threw this like wild fucking uppercut that busted Alex Turney's face open at the beginning. Absolutely not a headbutt. Yeah. And then at the end, it was a straight left hand that
you're gonna have to get his prescription checked.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get that prescription checked.
Get your prescription.
Hey, can you put on your glasses, ma'am? How many fingers am I holding up? Let the record show that the Mr. What was it? What was his name?
I don't remember, but
is holding up 2 fingers. Your Honor. That's my cousin Vinny, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. And the other Stew Nod of the Week nominee, we do not have a name for this guy. We don't have a name for this guy. But there was an incident outside the arena that we talked about last night with Ryan Reaver. We talked about it a little bit with Brandon Allen. There was a guy out there, Alex Turney, same guy we were just talking about, was out there. He's standing behind a handrail, and he's beefing with the Slaughterhouse guys, and some man to be named later sucker punches HD Howard Davis in the side of the face. What appeared to be hard. It made a real, can you hear it?
Very slappy. Yeah, it's a very slappy.
Made a real slappy noise. HD ate it, took him down. They scuffled outside. This guy got a 3-piece in a soda from Brian Durant. Some other fella took a couple soccer kicks too. And then they dipped out of there. I mean, it is what it is. But whoever that guy is,
the rough rando.
Yeah, the other guy, whoever that other guy is that had a few drinks in him, that thought it was okay to sucker punch the #1 ranked 145-pounder in the world,
who had a cast on.
That mofo is a goddamn Stew Nod, if you ask me. So we got 2 nominees tonight. Referee Andrew Glenn calling phantom headbutts and ending a fight so weirdly to start off an event.
Yeah.
Completely out of control.
Baffled.
And sucker punch guy.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
Get the votes. Throw the votes in there. Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Rough Rando or Glencoma? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who it is. Is it Glenn or is it Rando? Let's see who Man, this is gonna go down to the wire, I think.
Hey, in your best yuck, this was going down to the wire.
How weird is that? Like, we thought he was part of the corner, and then we find out yesterday he's just some guy. So I don't know, whatever. But I was saying earlier,
it's not some guy. It's not some guy. Here's what
he is a guy.
He's a guy. Royal William Reber, aka Ryan Reber, says we found out who the mystery man. We found out who the mystery man is. So you know what? We all know. Okay, I'm taking the sucker.
Wow, I think this is a landslide victory for Rando.
Hey, Joe, I'm just gonna throw them all up there, right? Sucker punch guy. That was crazy. You got what he deserved. You don't sucker punch anyone. Sucker punch guy. Sucker
punch for sure. Yeah, my vote.
I'm taking sucker. Oh man, Michael Quigg, sucker punch guy for sure. I think we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. The Stu Knot of the week is the dumbass that punched Howard Davis in the face with the sucker punch.
And you know what's funny is Bobo Bannon down here says Masvidal claims to have a really good sucker punch. And you want to know what's really funny, Bobo? We actually made him a Stu Knot of the week, I believe, for sucker punching and then doing it like out in the open, like right up on social media and telling everybody about it. And now he's facing charges. Like, why would you do that?
Yep. We crowned him Stu Knot of the week for the sucker punch, but more for dry snitching on himself on the internet.
Yeah, that was so bad. That's like being a ninja and then like having like a flute with you. You know what I'm saying? You play a couple tunes.
You don't do that, man. You don't go online.
Little Willy Wonka.
He says, I want to remember what he said. He was like, I want to start off by saying that I'm innocent and I didn't do anything wrong. But where I'm from, you can't talk about my family and get away with it. Like, oh, so you did it.
Great.
So
that's exhibit A and B.
Yeah, you fucking Stu Knot.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, man, great show. Charissa Sigala is geared up and ready to fight Paige Vanzant in London, August 20th, co-main event. Good for her. She has fought her ass off. Her record is 1-2-1, but those 4 fights are all fucking bangers, man. Good for her. She could have easily won that draw. I'd have to go watch it a third time to like really fucking figure that one out. But how about them Big Ben rumors? Bobo Bannon says. Now here's we know that Big Ben is fighting October 1st in New Orleans, Louisiana, in their first event in the state of Louisiana. But are you trying to tell us something, Bobo? In your best yuck it up voice, type in the comments if you are fighting.
Yeah, wink twice if you're fighting.
Yeah. Wink. Yeah, give us 2 winky emojis if you're fighting.
Yeah, right. I think it's happening. I mean, I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, right? We've been hearing about this a lot. There's been little nuggets, little hints being dropped out here and there. So it's probably a very good chance that is the first fight. And Ben was actually in a comment section, like saying, yep, that's the guy, about Bobo. So Bobo was on the scale, and he's in the comments, Big Ben, saying, listen, that's the guy that I want. So
I seriously know nothing. I wouldn't not say.
Yeah.
So if he knows, he would talk.
I don't know. We saw your wife out there throwing them nuggets out on the show. I saw that. She dropped little nuggets.
We're gonna see that one soon. Are you fighting Ken Rothwell, Bobo O'Bannon?
Ken Bothwell.
Ken Bothwell.
Ken Bothwell. Yeah, you know him?
Nah, man. Dude, fantastic show tonight. Shout out to Sigala. Shout out to Brutal Bedford for coming out here and talking. We really appreciate that. We're gonna chop this video up a little bit and start putting some things out. And with that said, hey guys. Oh, go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
I was gonna say, there's another fight that I've been hearing about, and this is like, these 2 guys are definitely known in the bare knuckle world. It's an undercard fight, and he's a buddy of ours, Cito versus Shady Grady. I've seen it a couple of times, and there's been some rumblings here and there. I think that's like a proper undercard fight because both of those guys, Cito's 1-0, and then you have Grady who's 1-1, right? So, like, I feel like that's a good fight. And Grady's going to get out there talking shit like crazy. I don't know if Cito's going to be talking shit, but Cito will get up in the ring and put it on him. So I'd like to see them two go at it.
Fight. That's a fight that needs that should be made. It makes itself. That one's perfect. They both fought in New York. They both fought on the same card, right? And in Shady Grady's first fight, he fought.
Well, I guess I was wrong. He's already starting. So Cito is talking shit.
Tell his bitch ass he's gonna get fucked up. Grady,
let him know.
We'll throw it on the screen here.
He can read earlier.
He can read it while we talk.
I've seen both of them in here.
Right. Cito all the way. I'm talking shit. No, we would really love to see that one fight. And
it's an undercard fight.
Cito is a extremely skilled fighter, a skilled boxer, and you saw him ripping the body shots up in New York. But you also saw in New York 2 times Shady Grady fought. The first time was against Travis Thompson, and Travis Thompson is a tough night out for everybody, for anyone.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to do it.
No, man. And he banged with freaking Travis. That was a freaking awesome fight. Might have been the fight of the night. I don't remember. I don't know. It was probably Joey Beltran and Arnold Adams that night, right? But according to Travis Thompson, it should have been them. Remember? Right. He was like, I'm the fucking fight of the night. I'm the animal. Remember that shit? He bled all in my hand. But, Grady can scrap, man. Grady can scrap. He's more of a brawler than a skilled boxer like Cito, but I think that they would make a beautiful fight. And if BKFC happens to be going to New York again, maybe they throw friggin' Grady on another New York card. But I would much rather see them two fight in the sunny state of Florida.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yep. I really liked New York, but you know what? If I have to, I'd rather go to Florida.
Absolutely, man. Man, there's a lot of big things coming up for the BKFC. I mean, next week we have we're working on a couple big guests, guys. I'm not going to say any names right now, but we got some things in the works. Things are going good here. And wait, so you Mish?
What are you saying?
Wait, so we're you Mish? What the fuck are you saying, Big Ben? God damn it. Hey, put the drink down and fucking type like a real normal human being. Wait.
Anyways.
Great show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks to our guests. With that said, student out of the week was the Sucker Puncher, and we're going to get the hell up out of here. Mike, you got anything else for these peeps?
No, I'm good to go, man. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you all next Wednesday.
Right, to your bum crease. Peace.